Caleb Lohner, Utah tight end, former Baylor basketball player with us on 365 Sports. We got a chance to cover you. You were a wrecking ball there. And then all of a sudden, football. When I heard that you were going to play football, I said, of course he is. That's your style and personality.
Yeah.
How much fun was that?
Man, it was awesome. It was the funnest year of sports I think I've had ever. And it wasn't perfect. There's a lot of things that, as a team was tough, but, man, it was so fun. It was awesome. Transitioning from a different sport, never thought I would have played football. It just felt right, putting on the gear, and it was awesome.
What was the first, because you had multiple, but what was the first touchdown like? Just that feeling of being in the end zone and, like, not only are you playing football, dude, but now you're scoring touchdowns.
Yeah. No, it was special. It just, again, something I never thought I would do.
Yeah. And
I didn't really understand that until I kind of went home and was able to, sit down, geez, I just caught a touchdown in a Division I football game. So, yeah, I was very blessed to be a part of that and trust that Utah had for me, and it was awesome.
Did you ever speak with Baylor about playing football?
There was some small conversation kind of going around, but I just, I didn't want to force anything. And
no, but they had Rico Gathers. They had others.
Ishmael Wainwright.
Yeah.
Mark Vidal went on to play.
Yeah. And guys that were like you. They were fearless. They were physical.
Yeah.
And so when I saw that, I was like, I wonder if there ever were conversations with Dave Aranda or anybody else. But it was rebounding a basketball. Was that like jumping up in the red zone to catch a pass?
Yeah, just the ball is shaped a little different.
Yeah, a little bit.
Start in a different place. But Scott was actually, Coach Drew was one of the ones who I asked some of these questions to. I was like, hey, you've had guys do this. What's the best way? And, he gave me some advice and called certain people. And, it was kind of weird to be like, hey, Coach, I'm going to play football at a different university because I was, just going to stay and play hoops again. I had another year of eligibility. Took the leap of faith and absolutely loved it.
So did you miss, I guess, the norm that you had been living there as far as being a college basketball player? Was that like a big change for you? And just what was that change like, moving and then changing sports and just all that came with that this past year?
It was a lot. It was a lot of to process at first, especially going from basketball where our season ended, and I was learning the playbook and doing all these things a few weeks later. It was kind of like a quick decision, but I was super happy when I understood it was going to be a little bit different, going from one sport to another, moving across the country a little bit and into a different place. But honestly, the Utah football program welcomed me with open arms. I felt so much love and just appreciation, and there's all sorts of guys helping me. I told someone a story earlier. The dude across from me in my locker, his name's Munir McLean. I'll never forget him showing me how to put on football pants. I was like, dude, I don't know how to do this. We were taking pictures, and he was like, I was like, can you show me how to put them on? To put them on, they didn't look right.
And pants now, they're different because a lot of times guys aren't even wearing pads anymore. There's some.
They're above your knee. That's the thing.
They are. And there was the knee pads, the thigh pads. That's what I'm talking about when I played up until the end of high school. But that's it. It was so much it's hard to get them in. Now it's different. So you mentioned Scott Drew. What was it like? Obviously, they're about to start tomorrow, the first round. It's been a tough year, but they got in it again. What was it like to play in that program?
It was awesome. Scott Drew is a class act. The whole program, everyone that I've worked with, the players, that was, Baylor basketball will always hold a special place in my heart. And just the relationships I made. But I give credit to, that program for just a lot of who I am now as an individual, too, outside of basketball. So I will forever be grateful for that.
You have a coaching roster of Mark Pope, Scott Drew, Kyle Whittingham.
Yeah.
No one else in the world has that.
No.
You have that's your resume.
Coaches,
yeah. What does that do for you, not only just as an athlete, but just as a human being preparing for life?
Yeah, I just was able to soak in so much wisdom and guidance from great individuals who are great at what they did, and and the process of that and habits, and those are things. It's funny you mentioned that. I was thinking about that the other day. We were talking about how, just like you said, went from Mark Pope, Scott Drew, Kyle Whittingham, all three guys will be remembered as coaches and also great individuals. And so changed me as a person. It's just made me better. And, things I've learned I'll carry on for the rest of my life.
So we're at a combine for football. Not only did you make the transition, but now here you are out in front of NFL scouts. So just kind of what's your mindset with this whole process, and what do you want to show today?
Just wanted to show that I'm here to pursue my football career, and this isn't just kind of, I'm going to try it, I'm going to do it. This is, no, I'm serious about this. This is something that I have passion in now, and it's something that I want to pursue and, be elite at the highest level.
You're a physical. Did you grow up just like being rambunctious, like a bull in a china shop, or is that just something that became a part of who you were as a player?
I grew up with 4 brothers,
there you go.
Maybe that,
yep.
maybe that gives a little bit. I think I've just always enjoyed the competitiveness and physicality of sports, and basketball is slowly changing a little bit. Mm-hmm. There's a lot more skill versus big guys rolling around in the paint, but credit to its own. Football is a lot more physical, but I really enjoyed it. And yeah, there's technique things that I wasn't great at and had to learn, but I think just the initial spark of wanting to hit somebody and things like that, I actually enjoyed.
Baylor fans are going to ask, do you have any eligibility left? You can shoot on up to Raleigh tonight.
Yeah,
they're depleted. They need a big guy to mash now.
I'm like Scott. I got 15 minutes in me if you need it.
Hey, they would
take every second of it right now. They're so 15, banged up.
Yeah, they really have struggled with inside, and then again, that's part of the game itself. Caleb Lohner from Utah, tight end, with us at Big 12 Pro Days. As again, this is just such a cool story because we saw with Rico and Ish Wainwright and others that it's just what a great story and vital.
Yeah.
And they were able to taste a little bit of that. And
totally.
now, of course, Ish is back doing what he does with basketball. But did you ever have any doubt you could make the transition?
No, because I don't think I would have made the transition if I did have any doubt. Mm-hmm. Now it's kind of my thing is, hey, if I'm doing this 100%. And I truly believe, especially with the recruitment that I got from Utah, that I could, be an elite tight end and have an impact. And I think I did. Yeah, there's time where I wanted more reps and wanted to be on the field more, but we struggled a little bit throughout the season with certain things, especially offensively. But yeah, here we are now, and super grateful.
What are you way better at now that you weren't very good at when you first jumped in?
Geez, everything. Pad level, blocking, being able to ID, basic coverages, and just really basic football, I would say. Everything at first was a little wobbly. Now I've tightened everything up and ready to continue that step of learning all the football I need to know going in, trying to make some of these camps and make a team next year.
You mentioned it was a bit of a tough year in terms of overall results, but what did you learn about the Utah program, just being in the mud with those guys, and then how did you guys kind of navigate the rising injury and just all that came with the adversity you faced?
It was tough, but I would say the Utah football program is the perfect place to handle that, especially with a leader like Kyle Whittingham. He's traditional as they get. He's walking in with a cutoff. He doesn't, yesterday we lost. Who cares? Today we're working. So I think just great leadership at every level of that program. We were able to still, enjoy our season and do what we could with all the injuries and the things that we had going on.
There seemed to be a lot of confidence because of what they had done in the Pac-12, moving into the Big 12, and then it just didn't work out. And, of course, there's is Cam playing or not and whatever else. Man, it's a great story. It was great covering you at Baylor. We're happy with you. Good luck.
Thank you.
This would be a great storytell ending.
Yeah.
It already is. No matter what, it already is. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you, guys.
Caleb Lohner, Utah tight end, Baylor basketball, 365 Sports in Frisco.